All right, guys, now that we've added and subtracted decimals, where you line up the decimals, we're now going to multiply decimals. Now, multiplication is so easy. All you're doing is you're multiplying like whole numbers. You're just adding one more step. So, step 1, multiply. You do not need to line up the decimals like when you add or subtract. Step 2, count the number of places behind the decimal in your problem. Your product or the answer must have the same number of places behind the decimal. Remember that multiplication is repeated addition, and you are looking for the total. All right, now I'm going to prove to you something really cool about multiplying decimals. Now we're going to be using by hand and a calculator to solve these problems. Now notice I went ahead and just wrote 1,892 all the way down, okay? And I'm going to show you why in just a second. Notice all of these problems over here all have a 4, 4, and a 3, 44 and a 43, with a couple zeros added on. The only thing different is that I put a decimal in different places. Now, the cool thing is if I come over to my calculator and I do 44 times 43 equals, I get 1,892. Bingo, right here. But now watch, if I do 44 times 4.3 equals, I get 189.2. 189.2. Same numbers, there's just a decimal right there. Let's do 4.4 times 4.3 equals, that's 18.92. 18.92. And then I have 0.44 times 4.3 equals 1.892. And I have 0.44 times 0.43 equals 0. Now let's put the 0. I got to put a 0 in front of it. 0.1892. Now look at the next one. 0.044 times 0.43 equals, I've got to annex two zeros. I've got 0.01892. So now here's the cool thing. This is why I want to show you this. If I were to get a different color. Now 44 times 43, that's a whole number. Decimals are always hiding at the end. All right, and your decimal is hiding back there. It's at the end. But look at here. How many numbers are behind the decimal? Well, the decimal on 44 is at the end. There's nothing behind there. But what is behind, how many numbers are behind this decimal? 1. Look at my answer. How many numbers are behind that decimal? 1. All right, let's do 4.4 times 4.3. How many numbers are behind this decimal? 1. This number, 1. So how many numbers do I have total behind the decimals? 2. 1, 2. Now look at this one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Look at this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I want you to notice this one. On that last one, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means there has to be 5 digits behind the decimal. Now notice when I put in the calculator it was 0.01892. Now if I'm having my answer, if I have 1,892, and there's supposed to be 5 digits behind the decimal, if I put it here, there's only 1. Here there's 2. Here there's 3. Here there's 4. I have to annex a 0 at the front. And it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now when your parents and I were little, they would say, move your decimal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the same thing, but sometimes people forget which direction to go. So I always just say how many digits are behind the decimal. Okay? So let's do a problem to see if you can figure out where to put the decimal.